So once again, we have Rick Berscheid, new District Conservationist, NRCS. Dennis Fuchs with us in studio as well. Dennis, did you have any play in the hiring of Rick?
No, I did not. I just talked to his boss and said we want the best you can offer because we are one of the highest workload offices in the state of Minnesota, if not in the country. And we really need somebody with Rick's talent to keep things moving. And we've just got a tremendous amount of contracts with EQIP, the Environmental Quality Incentive Program, and then also the Conservation Stewardship Program is a tremendous workload, along with all the other things you guys do with Swamp Buster and making sure that farmers are in compliance to access the benefits of the Farm Bill programs. And it's a lot of work, and we really need somebody. We're still down a few folks. What are we for the NRCS staff? We're short
2 soil cons right now. So we're half staff right now.
We're at half staff.
Okay.
And soil cons and soil conservationists are the folks that basically go out and work with the farmer to help come up with a plan to solve their problem. And we're short, and we've got, as far as workload on the books, we got over 200 clients or landowners that would like us to get out, survey, help them solve their problems, and we're busy. And our season, we're lucky we got an extra month this fall. Basically, folks were in the field this past weekend wrapping up projects, and then we got the snow, so it's pretty much done now for the season. And we're hoping we get an early spring to get back on and start doing surveying and design and start working up cost estimates and stuff like that.
Rick, how long have you been on the job then? Here?
In Wade Park, I started October 18th, so about a month.
About a month?
It feels like a year.
It's been a long month.
And is it
it's been a good transition.
Is it what you expected, or is it?
Well, I knew when I applied for the position, I came from our area office in Fergus Falls, where I assisted 14 county field offices, and Stearns is well known for their high workload, and I knew going into it was going to be pretty high paced, but it's a lot higher pace and a lot more traffic than I was expecting. We're getting through it right now with our short staff. We have a great partnership with the district and with FSA that we've been able to keep on plugging away.
And one of the things, when we had a few, Dave Rose left, when was that, April?
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
Earlier this year, and we had a lot of acting folks coming in and out. So the consistency of how the district conservationist likes to have the paperwork managed, that wasn't always the same. So now Rick's got to be the common denominator to get all this pulled together, get it done the way it should be, and move forward with the new programs and get the conservation on the ground.
Why the lack in staff? Is it hard to find people that know what they're doing as far as what you need them to do?
We had a HR transformation that we went through here the last couple of years.
HR, that's not a home run. Human resources. I know some of your listeners probably are going, those guys and their acronyms.
Is that in-house restructuring? Is that what that is, basically? kind of a deal?
Definitely, yeah. It was.
Each state had their own human resource division, and what we're going to now is more of a national, where we have a more regionalized human resource division. So it's been a transition to there, and it's just kind of been a little harder to get positions advertised and filled, but it will be filled.
You can't just look into the file of all the job applications and say, let's see, this one looks good. You don't have those, or?
We don't locally.
No.
What's going on, Dennis?
Yeah, I know. It's frustrating at the NRCS state level. I think there's over 60 positions that need to get filled, and they're working on getting it through. We got a new state conservationist, Don Balone, retired last year about this time. And now we've got a new state conservationist for NRCS. She's Kathy Pullman, and she's doing a great job. But it just takes time to get everything moving in the right direction. And we're seeing improvements, but we need staff locally to work with our farmers. It's just we got too much work to do.
So the young kids in school should maybe pursue this as a career, so they'll have plenty of job openings available? Or?
Yeah, I would highly recommend kids that are in high school to consider a degree in environmental studies or agronomy or soil science, earth sciences, geology, hydrology. Those types of fields are only going to grow with our climate change and stresses on our resources. We need good staff.
Okay, very good. We'll have more from Dennis Fuchs and also Rick Berscheid coming up after our Answers Partyline news break, Minnesota News Network. Take a look at some sports, some weather, a little Brownfield Egg Markets, and more up next here on Chasm Radio. Brownfield Market Update brought to you by Midwest Machinery as we continue Answers Partyline today here on Chasm Radio. It's brought to you by CHI, Albany Area Health, Wimmer Opticians, St. Cloud, Atlas Chiropractic of Waite Park, and also the offices of the Central Minnesota Credit Union. In studio, District Conservationist from NRCS, Rick Berscheid. Also, we have Dennis Fuchs. He is from the SWCD, Administrator. We were talking about lack of talent in the office.
Yeah, the opportunity for high school students to go into and get a degree in some type of science, earth science related field is excellent right now. So I have this past week, I forwarded 5 jobs. I keep a email distribution list I share with folks that are just recently college grads, and forwarded these job opportunities to them. And there's some of these opportunities, there's multiple, almost a dozen jobs, and this doesn't even include anything that Rick's got through NRCS. And the other thing that happened, the legislators provided some additional funds to the soil water conservation districts to help enhance their capacity to address this buffer program that's going to be coming out. We're still waiting for the maps from the DNR. We don't have the maps from the DNR yet, but when we do, we're going to get busy, and every SWCD is going to be getting busy. And there's some additional funds where a lot of SWCDs are going to be looking at hiring additional staff person. And there's going to be a lot of retirements, not only with the SWCDs, so water conservation districts, but also with the Natural Resources Conservation Service. We're going to see a lot of turnover there in the next 10 years. So it's just a great opportunity. And the other thing is a lot of our clients, especially in greater Minnesota, are agriculture, farmers. And if we got kids that come from a farm that knows what a cow looks like, the front end of a cow and the back end of a cow, that really helps.
Yeah, and right now with the NRCS, I just seen on USA Jobs, that's our hiring website that we go through. In Minnesota right now, there is a posting out there that will close here on December 3rd for applicants to get their application submitted for recent college graduates that have that soil and agronomic background on their classes to apply for. And those locations are in Mankato, Marshall, Wheaton, and Ada. And that's a great opportunity for you to get on board with the Natural Resources Conservation Service. And then from there, you can do like what I did with my career, move around all across the country, try new different areas. And there's just a lot of great opportunity with the NRCS. Okay.
Should we talk CRP sign-up first here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That starts today. And the cool thing is it starts today, and I think the Farm Service Agency, this is their program, but we do provide technical assistance in helping the farmer, landowner get the appropriate grasses, wildlife, shrubs, whatever they're planning on doing in this particular area. We help provide that technical expertise through our office. But the sign-up is today through February 26th. So we got plenty of time to work with you through the program. The continuous sign-up is continuous, so that means you can come in anytime. And if you start looking at the buffer program, the new legislation that requires buffers on ditches and streams and lakes and all that good stuff, the continuous might be more appropriate for that. So we can always work that program once we get the maps from the DNR, which we should be getting a preliminary draft sometime yet this year, which we only got 4 weeks left, and we're hoping that we do see it. But that should be coming. But if you got larger tracts, that's where this General CRP, you say you got some land that's highly erodible, and you tried when the corn prices and soybean prices were high, you tried to put a crop off using a little too much tillage maybe, and you're like, oh my gosh, that did not work very good. This would be an excellent opportunity to put these larger tracts back into the CRP program and receive a rental payment per acre for 10 years on these pieces.
Yeah, the sign-up is, like Dennis said, today through the end of February 26th. You come into FSA and you submit your bid offer for what you're wanting to sign up, and 10 to 15 years on those contracts, and you have multiple different options as far as if you want to establish grasses or trees, whatever you would like to put out there. There is a bid process on it. Depending on your cover, you get different points. just come on into the office and see FSA or come talk to us on our side, and we can go from there.
We've got two guys in our office that are dedicated to assisting farmers, Jason Selvog and our new Pheasants Forever Farm Bill biologist, Kevin Roth. They both will sit down and come out to your farm and visit with you about what you want to do and come up with the best plan of attack to help give you the best score and the best product.
Des, I want to go back to the buffer thing. You said they're going to be sending the preliminary draft?
Yeah, DNR's working on a map, and they're going to be sharing with the SWCDs what they're proposing for public waters.
So you get to negotiate the whole deal? Or?
Well, we need to take a look at it and make sure that it captures all of the things that needs to get captured, and also make sure that it's not too aggressive. I know a lot of the legislators are very concerned that DNR is going to be very aggressive with throwing in, especially on ditch systems, which may or may not be public waters, and there's private ditch systems that come into public systems, and the way the legislation was written, it was a little bit gray, and if you're going to be aggressive, you'd probably say yes. Let's put all that in, and so all of that would require buffers on private ditches. Now that we don't know, and that's why we're really waiting for those maps before we talk to farmers on what needs to be done. So. Okay, I'm confused. Why don't you guys just drop the maps then, since you guys have the knowledge to do so? Because we did not receive $600,000 like DNR did to do it. The legislators and the DNR is in charge of public waters, wetlands, lakes, streams. They are the state entity in charge of those. So even groundwater. If you're going to irrigate, you get a groundwater appropriation permit from the DNR because groundwater, surface water, they're all connected.
Okay.
So and the DNR wants to do a good job of sustaining our resources, and there's nothing wrong with that. And as we see more tile drainage and more irrigation and less groundwater, something's got to give. That doesn't look like a sustainable solution. So they want to make sure that we can sustain Minnesota resources and our farmers into the future. And we want to make sure that they're doing a good job. Legislators want to make sure they're doing a good job. So we'll hopefully get some maps, and when we do, then we can visit with the listeners on air. And then once the maps get more finalized and ready for public comment, that'll be probably summer of 2016, and we'll have various workshops and meetings throughout the county too, so people can actually look at the maps.
Who else is giving input besides your office?
Our office, and then also when the ditch maps come out on what they're proposing there, all of the judicial ditch folks in charge of ditches will be looking at those.
Sauk River Watershed District. Yeah.
Yep, the watershed districts and the counties are typically in charge of the ditch systems. Not, like you go to Middle Fork, Crow River Watershed District, and Kansas County, they are not the ditch authority. The Kansas County commissioners wanted to keep that responsibility with them, so they're. And Stearns County, the Stearns County commissioners really wanted the watershed districts to have a more active role. So North Fork and the Sauk River are watershed districts that manage the ditch systems. Okay.
You got a meeting coming up too, a conference.
Yeah, speaking of irrigators, we have a irrigators clinic. This is going to be Wednesday, December 16th. 8 a.m. registration, and it'll run to about 3 o'clock. And this is at the Lakeside in Glenwood. And one of the things that they just had a big irrigation, groundwater management area evaluation of the Bonanza Valley, which is the Belgrade-Bruton area. And it runs all the way down to Paynesville up to Glenwood. And one of the things that they really want farmers to do is to do the best job possible in managing their irrigation water. They don't. If you over apply your irrigation water, for one, you're wasting money by running a pump that you don't need to be running, and two, you're also losing a lot of your nutrients for your crop, your nitrates, which isn't very efficient. And then third, you can also push that into our groundwater supply, and it increases the nitrates for our drinking water, and that's not very healthy if you get too much of that. So this is going to be on Wednesday, December 16th. And if you're interested, they're going to have irrigation, water quality management, irrigation technology, They're going to talk about nutrient management under irrigation, and they're going to have an irrigator panel. They're also going to talk about the Minnesota Ag Water Quality Certification Program and the State Buffer Program. So if you want to get some more information on where we're at with the buffers, maybe the maps, the preliminary maps will be released by then. And lunch will be provided. Pre-registration is requested by sending $10 to the Pope SWCD. And if you could put attention Holly Kovarik, that's Kovarik, Kovarik, at the Pope SWCD. And I can give you the address if you think that'd be beneficial for your listeners.
Sure.
1680 Franklin Street North, Glenwood, Minnesota, 56334. 56334, once again. And that's got to be in by December 11th. Holy cow. That's next week, Friday.
Week from Friday.
Yeah. So that's one of the things coming up. And we also mentioned CRP and trees. The Soil and Water Conservation District does sell mass quantities of trees. We're not here to compete with the landscape businesses in town. And these are for mass plantings, for wildlife habitat improvement. And these sales are going on right now. And we do have shrubs, small trees, medium tall trees, and conifers. And we sell them in bundles of 25, minimum 2 bundles. And so you need to order 50 trees. And the bundles range from 20 to upper 30s in mid 30s in price. So it's a good. We work with the DNR to get maximum amount of trees out in the spring, and then these are usually picked up the last week of April or the first week of May. And we work with the Albany MnDOT station here in town to distribute the trees. Yeah, it's just a great way to get a lot of trees out. The best time to plant a tree is in the spring when it's cool out yet, and it's easy to. These are bare root trees, so it's easy in the spring to move them. You don't have to worry about them drying out and dying before you get them planted. And we do have a variety. We got American cranberry, gray dogwood, rhodosier dogwood, common lilac, hazelnut, mountain ash, serviceberry, which is also known as Juneberry, Midwest crab apple, common chokecherry, American plum. We got paper birch, black cherry, hackberry, sugar maple, red oak, white pine, Norway pine, Black Hill spruce, white spruce, Colorado spruce, white cedar, red cedar, balsam fir, and tamarack. So those are the varieties that we do have for sale. And one thing, we do have mountain ash, but we don't have common ash. That is because of the emerald ash borer. We're really trying to diversify our tree species out there. They have identified emerald ash borer was in Duluth, I think, is the latest outbreak of that. And we're continuing to diversify the landscape with various trees to help minimize the problems once that gets to be more widespread.
So they get a preference on which kind of trees, or do they just get a bundle of whatever they? Yeah,
they get a bundle of 25 trees of one species.
Okay.
So you don't mix and match. If you want to do that, you should go visit your landscape supply folks.
So are there equal amounts of each variety that you mentioned, or?
Yeah, a bundle of 25 would be like all of one of the tree species. Say Midwest crabapple.
So that's the limit. That's what you get, 25.
Yep, 25 of that, and then you got to get 25 one other species. Okay. Minimum 50 trees.
Got it. All right.
And that's going on right now. So if you wanted to, buy somebody a nice Christmas present, you could, say, here, I got you some trees, and I might even come and help plant.
Yeah,
and say it just like that. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. And if you have larger plantings, like then instead of a few hundred trees, you can buy more than the minimum there.
Yeah, okay. That's the minimum. I mean, you can order
not a maximum or anything, is there?
No, there's no max. We keep selling until we run out.
How long does that usually take? A couple weeks or a couple months? Or
we take orders up until tree pickup.
Okay.
So but usually you got better selection.
Right.
Earlier you get in the office. So if you've got some time this winter, come on in and take care of your tree order.
Okay, very good.
Well, I don't want to do all the talking. I was hoping that, maybe Rick could talk a little bit about the Environmental Quality Incentive Program, unless you got a call or a question.
I do have a question. Whatever you want to do, we can do this first. To your knowledge, will farmers be able to harvest the forage on the buffer strips? If not, will they have a weed control program in place?
The a CRP, if you do a continuous CRP, they'll require some type of weed control as part of the contract. If you're just going to do this yourself and harvest it, then it would be completely up to yourself. So there's no requirement that you have to put the buffer in some type of government program. If you want to just put it in some type of a pasture mix and graze it or harvest it for forage, that's completely up to you. And there is no requirement. I know the continuous CRP, typically do they include some funds for mid-contract management?
There are funds available for mid-contract management. So if you have a 10-year contract, typically in years 4 through 6, one of those years you can go in there, you can either mow it, burn it, or whatever you need to do to maintain that cover. And then also, if you do qualify for it, there is that annual rental rate payment to offset the cost of having the buffer there for the cropland.
Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully the listener's satisfied with that answer. If not, call our office. We can provide additional information. 251-7800, and we're at extension 3.
And what do you want Rick to talk about?
Well, the Environmental Quality Incentive Program is the Fixer Up program, and we've been extremely busy, and I think the sign-up for 2016 is done.
That's done. It ended on November 20th, and it's a continuous sign-up. And what we have is cut-off deadlines for the applications that we get up to that deadline. And for 2016, that was November 20th. So we are still taking applications. We encourage producers to come on in, see us, visit with us, try to develop a conservation plan in place prior to signing up so we know what we're looking at and what the fixes will be. And then we take an application, and then your application will be evaluated at the next sign-up period. And it looks like that will be next year sometime. But we can start the planning process now, get out there, visit with you, get the maps all ready, and offer you a couple different solutions to whatever your resource concerns you may have.
Very good. All right.
Do we still have time to talk about the Conservation Tillage Conference?
Absolutely, Dennis.
Oh, God,
you have
that's
the floor.
awesome.
Go ahead.
Woo-hoo. All right. We are fortunate enough to have the Conservation Tillage Conference at Wilmer this year. It's going to be December 15th and 16th. That is a Tuesday and Wednesday. And that's going to be at the Best Western Plus Conference Center in Wilmer. And this is the most comprehensive conservation tillage conference in the upper Midwest. And this is put on by the University of Minnesota Extension and the North Dakota State University Extension Service. And they've got a really good program set up. And you're probably wondering, well, why should I attend? Well, you can conserve soil, time, and feel with conservation tillage. And this conference will send you home with hands-on how-to information in every aspect of conservation tillage.
That was right from the brochure. You did very well, Dennis.
Well,
very,
thanks.
very well.
I hope it didn't sound like I was reading it.
No, not at all. No, very natural.
Oh, very good, thanks. Well, then you're probably wondering who should attend, whether you're an experienced steward looking to fine-tune what you're doing or a crop consultant. We got a lot of crop consultants out there that can help our farmers do a better job with tillage management. This is a great opportunity to get your feet wet, and this conference should be on your calendar today.
Right now, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. The problem is the early bird registration was yesterday. So now the cost is $155 to attend, and that does include lunch. So they've got a great program. The keynote speaker includes John Hurd and Daryl Richardson. Daryl Richardson is an NDSU state climatologist, and John Hurd is very involved with crop nutrition. And then they have a lot of breakout speakers, and I won't get into all those, but they start on Tuesday at 8:30. That's when John Hurd is the keynote speaker. They're going to have breakout sessions in the morning, and they're going to have table talks in the afternoon. And table talks is an opportunity where farmers that have implemented conservation tillage, crop residue management strategies are going to visit with how they implemented this on their farm and how they make it work and as successful as they have. They're going to have the farmers panel at that after that also. And then this is the best part. From 6 to 10 o'clock, they're going to have beer and bowl. This is part of your registration. The folks can sit down, have a beer, talk to the farmers that are there, ask them questions about how they make it work. Say you got some heavier soils without any tile drainage. And how do you make this work? Is there a way to make it work? Or do you start with tile drainage and then start implementing the conservation tillage program? And then on Wednesday, the 16th, that starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. They're going to have some demonstrations. They're going to continue with the table talks. And then they're going to have another keynote speaker at 11, and they'll get you out of there after lunch. So it looks like a heck of a program. If you'd like to register, you can just do that online. Just Google Conservation Tillage Conference Wilmer, and it'll pop up there for you. Or if you have any questions and would like us to answer those for you, just give our office a call at 320-251-7800, extension 3. Once again, that's the Conservation Tillage Conference, December 15th, 16th, right here near us at the Wilmer Best Western Plus Conference Center.
Dumb question. Does that include a room, or is that just part of the conference? Okay.
That's okay. Materials and lunch.
Got it. All right. Very good. Well, we got about a minute left. Anything else you want to quickly highlight or mention? Either of you?
CSP. Anything on CSP?
There will be a sign up coming up. They haven't set the date for the deadline. It's just like eQuip. We can take an application on a continuous basis, and then those applications that are filed will be evaluated at the next sign-up cutoff, and the date has not been set. There will be a change in the program a little bit. They are adjusting the evaluation tool on it to make it a little easier to understand. We're just getting more information each day here, and if you're interested in the program, just give us a call or stop on in, and we can go from there.
One other thing, we do have our Minnesota Association of Soil Water Conservation Districts convention coming up Sunday, Monday, Tuesday down at the Doubletree Hotel in Bloomington. And the governor is going to be there on Tuesday for the Outstanding Conservationist Luncheon. We're hoping Joe Gill can join us down there and maybe even interview our Outstanding Conservationist for 2015, Royce Trout and family.
All right. Very good.
Thank you, Brad, for having us once again on this most awesome radio station.
Well, thank you, Dennis. Dennis Fuchs from the SWCD, and also pleasure meeting you, Rick Berscheid, District Conservationist, NRCS. Thanks for your time. We'll see you next month.
Sounds good.
Have a good Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
All right. We'll see you later. It's Chasm Radio. We've got news coming up next.